about the former president.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So as soon as he sat in office, there were moves in Congress to make Congressman Pulong Duterte the speaker. And President Duterte said clearly, if you make him speaker, I'm going to resign.
Yes.
So delikadesa.
Yan yung
diba?
delikadesa.
Yeah.
Correct.
Ito wala na eh. Wala talaga.
Ma'am Lorraine, how important is delicadeza? No matter how very rare that value could be found among politicians nowadays, and of course, Attorney Glenn, you have delicadeza, that's why you're exposing these things in yourself. How important is delicadeza in the kind of leadership inside government, lalo na sa isang presidente na ngayon ay naakusa na involved sa drug abuse, walang kadili-delikadesa, walang ka-sensitivity, hindi niya tinatanggap na ito ay isang marapat na issue na dapat harapin. Ganon din ang pinapakita ng kanyang pinsan. Pare-pareho sila. Even the wife, dinidedma, ini-ignore, isang pagpapakitang walang pagpapahalaga sa sentimiento ng taong bayan. How must the people respond to that? And as a former congressman, how do you feel where our government is now heading under the Marcos government?
Kuya Eric, Tita Lorraine, mga kababayan, when you become president, parang lahat ng atensyon nakafocus sa'yo. Lahat ng obligasyon, yung duties na sa'yo. Pasan mo ang mundo, literally. Because there's 115 million Filipinos out there na looking up to you. So, holding the office of the President of the Philippines, not to mention it's a lofty position, comes with it great responsibility.
Correct.
Ikaw ang dapat example sa lahat ng Pilipino. Why? Because when you show delicadeza, when you show obedience to the law, pag nagpapakita ka ng mga ditong qualities, you are actually telling the people, you are setting an example for people to follow.
Correct.
And when people follow their leader and the leader is good, aabot tayo sa puntong aasenso ang buhay ng bawat Pilipino.
Tama. So, mahalaga yun.
Yes, that's how important it is. Pero kung nga nakikita ng ating mga public officials ay ang Pangulo ay bangag at ang Pangulo ay sabihin natin ang Speaker ay they are so corrupt and they don't even attempt to hide it. So all the rest of those public servants down here, ang nasa isip is, bakit sila lang ba ang pwedeng magnakaw? Sila lang ba ang may karapatan na mangulimbat o mang-extort? Ako rin, kasi may pamilya ako, may papakainin ako. So, it infects down everybody, down all the levels of government. And eto, magkakawindang-windang ang buhay na bawat Pilipino.
Thank you, Attorney Glenn. Ma'am Lorraine.
Which is why we've been an audience to this disgusting practices na a Department of Tourism Undersecretary with Mick Mayabang pa that she was in an important meeting and she stepped out to help her friend with a Google Translate, and not only that, she would post photos of her in business class. Let me tell you how important delicadeza is. Okay, this is a story that I love to tell because it shows you that we were so hopeful that we were rebuilding our government.
Tama.
Tanggalin yung lumang politika na ang kakapal na mga mukha ng mga magnanakaw. Because PRRD, every time we would eat before, sasabihin niya, magkakasama kami, ang ulam natin ngayon ay piniritong galunggong or whatever, piniritong tilapia.
Yeah.
Meron naman tayong almondigas, meron tayong prutas, meron tayong dessert, may kanin. Okay na yan kasi hindi natin pera yan, pera ng taong bayan yan. So, nadikdik na yan sa utak namin. Let me tell you, ang sarap magsilbi sa bayan pag ganon. Pagkatapos kami, pag undersecretary ka, you're entitled, by law, you can ride business class. But I never did, not once. Kasi nahihiya ka, baka malaman ni Digong. Ayoko, nahihiya ako. So mahihiya ka talaga kasi ang president mo, ang leader mo, ay simple, di ba? Pero ito kasi may go signal sila eh. Yes. May go signal, so lahat yan. Kaya masakit pa, yung nakikita natin ngayon, si Millionario, there's a 220-something million loan debtor. They're just so makapal about it. Di ba? Like they're saying to the Filipino people, ito, nagnanakaw pa rin ako. Can you do something about it? Yeah. O meron na namang how many millions, hundreds na highly improbable, impossible na nga, statistically impossible na winners ng PCSO. Pero ito, nagnanakaw ako. Bakit? Yes. Resback ko si Lisa Araneta Marcos, di ba? Kaya niya yon, right?
And because
No?
of that, Ma'am Lorraine's observation mo, tatanungin natin si Atty. Glenn Chong. Atty. Glenn Chong, isa sa opening line mo doon
Yeah.
sa Tagum ay tumatak sa mga tao na hindi lamang problema ngayon ang pamumuno ng presidente sapagkat siya po ay kasama niya ang bagahe na tinatawag mong national problem, si Lisa Araneta Marcos. Because ang ibig mo bang sabihin doon, the president right now, Marcos Jr., is just a formal flower-based president and the real powers and governance are exercised by someone who is not elected, does not have the accountability and mandate of the people, and yet she governs the government under the cloud of authority of the husband that is under her control, including sa pinsan na si Martin Romualdez. Is that what you were about to tell the people na sinabi mong national problem itong si Lisa Araneta?
Kuya Eric, Tita Lorraine, mga kababayan, uulitin ko yung sinabi ko. Kung si Lisa Marcos nasa harap ko dito, sinampal ko na kaliwat kanan. Kasi nga, bakit ko gusto ko siyang sampalin? Dahil walang hiya itong babaeng ito. Ito ang national problem ng Pilipinas ngayon. Ito ang nakikialam sa lahat ng appointments, sa lahat ng desisyon ng gobyerno. I'll take as an example itong aking personal na experience. Nasa affidavit ko po yan. Nung inalok po nila sa akin yung posisyon ng National Telecommunications Commissioner, sabi ko nga mababa yung pwesto pero tinanggap ko kasi nga dublihin ko sana yung free data ng mga kababayan natin. Malaking tulong yan.
Malaking tulong.
Malaking tulong yan. At feeling ko kaya kong brasuhin si Smart, si Dito at si Globe. Nag-selfie kami. Pagkatapos kong umuo, Tita Lorraine, Kuya Eric, nag-selfie kami si Hubert Guevara, yung nag-selfie, yung namayapang SEC Commissioner. At pinadala kay Lisa at pinakita niya sa akin. So, ang nasa isip ko, si Lisa ang nag-offer nito. Hindi naman tong dalawa pupunta sa akin kung hindi naman may go signal ni Lisa. I know her. I worked with her for 6 years. And then, the next day, nagpasalamat ako sa kanya for remembering me. Tapos, December 9, 2022, 5th death anniversary ni Richard, exactly that day tumawag sa
Yung driver, security mo.
personal aid ko. Sabi ni Ivan, oy, papada kaming Brussels mamayang hapon. Pinirmahan na ni Presidente yung appointment mo. Congratulations.
That was December 2022.
December 9, 2022. The next day, itong ating kasama si MJ Mundihan. Tinext ako, Sir, congratulations, NTC Commissioner ka pala. So, alam na nila. Although, I just waited for announcement. The end of the year, tinext ako ng kaibigan ko, yung pangalan mo nawala na. Kausapin mo si First Lady. So, I did not lift a finger to talk to her. So, inantay ko na lang. Then, February 10, iba ang in-appoint nila. So, alam ko na, although tinupad ni Marcos yung kanyang sa akin, binawi ni Lisa Marcos. Kasi natakot sila na, kung si Glenn Chong ang ilalagay mo dyan, paano tayo mandaya? Dadaan yung election data sa telco.
At hindi ka nila makokontrol.
Siya ang may hawak, mabubuking
That's
tayo.
terrible.
Yeah.
So, doon mo inaugnay yun?
Yes.
Because they are up into something sinister.
Yes.
Which they did during the elections. Yun ang
In
tanong
2022, yes. I honestly believe that.
Ang paniniwala mo, yung pagpigil ni Lisa Araneta Marcos sa kanyang asawa na ma-appoint ka sa NTC because of the sensitivity of the position that you may endanger at mapipigilan mo ang pandarayang gagawin sa mga susunod na eleksyon. Are we getting you right?
Yes, that's correct. That's exactly right.
So that's personal, hindi personal na naagrabyado ka. But you feel na ginamit niya itong kanyang kapangyarihan para ipagpapatuloy niya ang kanyang mga ginagawa na maniobra sa eleksyon na ginagawa niya dati.
Yes, Kuya Eric, Tita Lorraine, ang gusto talaga niya is after matapos yung termino ni Marcos si Jr., salpak niya muna si Tambaloslos for 6 years to hold the fort. And then after that, maging presidente na yung anak niya. In other words, magkakaroon tayo ng pretender na queen, Lisa Marcos, for the next 18 years. My God, I cannot bear that. I think the people cannot bear a Lisa Marcos in power for 18
And that
years.
can only happen not in an honest election.
Yes.
That can only happen in a fraudulent manner of using electoral system na namamanipulate nila.
Yes, exactly what they did in 2022 para manalo yung kanyang asawa at yung kanyang anak.
Okay. Attorney,
may
ma'am, go ahead.
question, ha?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
So what you've given us clearly is a glimpse, no, of their vetting process, so-called, which was also very shocking to us from the very start, us who are with the President Duterte, because there was a vetting committee.
Yeah.
Marami yun. Marami yun. And it wasn't it wasn't based on the whims or caprices of one person, more so the girlfriend or the wife of the former president. No, there wasn't anything like, these are all government workers. No, so it's a reflection, and it happened just recently with the PNP.
Correct.
No, ang nandyan na sa invitation was that si Peralta. General Peralta was going to be the chief PNP, and his entire family was there.
Nandun na.
Entire family was there, and while the ceremony was going on, si Marbil ang ginawang chief PNP. Can you imagine?
At lumabas ang pangalan ni Martin Romualdez ang nasunod.
Yeah,
At
so,
si Lisa.
So kapritsyo na naman ito, no? Meron na namang it's just so shocking. This Marcos administration is the very he's the poster boy for patronage politics. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng patronage politics, mga kababayan? Pag naupo ka na sa pwesto, ang tingin ng mga ito, kanila lahat ng pwesto na yan, to do with it as they please. Kung sino yung it's not like that.
Yes.
Hindi kayo ang may-ari ng gobyerno. Nung umupo si Pangulong Duterte, kahit yung mga ibang presidents, meron talagang vetting process. Depende sa kung anong natapos mo, kung ano yung yung mga required yung requirements ng pwesto na yon. Kasi ang mangyayari dyan, ang mananalo taong bayan, di ba? So, it's very shocking to me, no, that vetting process. And it seems to me that they have a penchant for choosing the worst, no? Like si Mel Robles for the PCSO.
Oh,
no?
Ang naging gatasan na nila ngayon. Pupunta natin yan, Attorney Glenn, pero may tatanong kami sa iyo. We have to ask you the hard question. Sabi nila Lisa at mga operators nila at mga kanilang paid vloggers at mga tirador sa information operations. Mali yung sinasabi ni Atty. Glenn Chong na nandaya daw kami. Sapagkat kung nandaya kami, paano naging magkapareho halos ang election votes results ni Sara Duterte at ni Bongbong Marcos Jr.? Please explain.
That's very easy to disprove. Actually, nung sinabi ni Lisa Marcos sa akin na magkakaroon siya ng pagpupulong sa may-ari ng Smartmatic at kailangan niya ng 2 technical guys kasama dun sa meeting na yon. Pero nung lumingon sa akin at dinuro ako, but not you because they hate you so
Saan
much.
ditong pagkikita nyo before the meeting of Lisa Marcos sa
doon sa
Smartmatic?
office ni Lisa Marcos sa campaign headquarters sa EDSA.
Sa Mandaluyong?
Yes, in the middle of the campaign period.
Okay.
And then, napag-alaman ko sa records ng Bureau of Immigration na dumating March 17. Kasi bago mag-March 17 yun dumating ng March 17 ang president at founder ng Smartmatic.
From where?
From the United States.
Sa US.
Okay.
Dumating siya rito, March 17, 2022, wala pang eleksyon. Ito si Roger Piñati Alejandro Martinez, Venezuelan citizen but resident of the United States. President and founder of, co-founder of Smartmatic. So tama yung sinabi ni Lisa Marcos.
So dumating?
Dumating. And then umalis sa April 5, 2022, bumalik ng towards the end of May until natapos yung eleksyon.
Okay.
Now,
So natuloy ang meeting?
natuloy ang meeting na yun.
Without you?
Yes, of course, because yun na nga ang sabi ko, mga kababayan, ano pang pag-uusapan nila na kailangan niya ng 2 technical guys? Kung ang pag-uusapan ay paano bibilangin ang boto, alam na ni Lisa Marcos yun. Matagal ko nang paulit-ulit in-explain sa kanya.
Because you've been working with them for 6 years.
Yeah, and why didn't Smartmatic want you?
Yes.
Why do they hate you?
Ano bang meron na sinabi ni Smartmatic na huwag mong dalhin si Glenn Chong, ha?
Yes,
Pwede ka magdala
why?
ng 2 technical guys, pero huwag mong dalhin si Glenn Chong. Dahil hindi pagbibilang ng boto ang pag-iisa-usapan, pagmamanipula ng boto ang pag-uusapan nila.
And yun yung advokasya mo.
Yes.
This is what you've been fighting for a very long time. This is your track record.
Yes, Tita Lorraine.
Na
Okay.
ang Smartmatic ay dapat hindi ginagamit ng gobyerno natin because wala siyang integrity, questionable ang sistema, and sinabi mo na may fraudulent manipulation of data input that can influence the result of the elections.
Yes.
Tama ba ang kuha namin?
Yes. So,
And you exposed that.
yes.
Kaya ka hindi pinasama sa meeting na yun.
Kaya hindi nila ako pinapasama kasi nga pag-uusapan mga kababayan ay paano mamanipulate ng boto, hindi paano bibilangin ang boto. So that's why she need 2 technical guys para maintindihan niya.
Paano gagahasain ang electoral process
That's the
natin?
right term,
Paano
exactly.
babuyin ang Pilipino? Paano nakawin ang mga boto natin?
So you did not believe Atty. Glenn Chong that in that meeting, involve ang pagmanipula ng boto ng Vice Presidente. You did not.
No.
It was only for Marcos Jr.
I vehemently declared this na walang kinalaman dito si VP Sara
Yun.
Duterte.
Kasi yun ang kanilang attack sa'yo.
No.
Sabi niya kung ganun, di ibig sabihin, pati si Sara, pinadaya din.
So why not?
I have
Why
been very... okay, very
Yeah.
good question.
Go.
Tita Lorraine. Mga kababayan, I've been very clear. Right from the start, ayaw ni Lisa Marcos kay VP Sara Duterte.
At alam mo yun.
Alam ko yun kasi palagi niyang sinasabi, si President Duterte so baduy, ayaw i-appoint si Bongbong Marcos sa Department of Agriculture.
Oh.
Meron siyang ganun eh. May siya mga ganong i-kampanya natin si BBM, si Bonget, na maging Agriculture Secretary ni President Duterte. Umayaw si Presidente dahil obviously alam
Siyempre.
niya,
Alam
kung
niya.
What stuff this guy is made of.
Yeah,
So
drug
ayaw
addict,
talaga
sabi
niya, deep in his heart. So, kaya ayaw din ni Lisa Marcos kay VP Sara Duterte. So, may 3 meeting yan ng Smartmatic.
Go.
December 10, 2022, pinapunta ako doon sa meeting ng Smartmatic local officials. Wala doong representative si VP Sara Duterte. Si Tambalusos, nandun ang abogado niya. Pangalawa, itong meeting with Cesar Flores, ang dating presidente ng Smartmatic. Nandoon ako. Nandoon si Lisa Marcos. Walang Sara Duterte doon.
Before election pa to?
Yes.
Before election.
February 2022. Yun yung pangatlong meeting. Ito na, guys, I have a meeting with the owners of Smartmatic March 2022. Sa 3 meeting na yan, walang kahit anino o indication na may kinalaman si VP Sara Duterte. So, ang nangyari ganito, mga kababayan, si VP Sara Duterte is very popular by her own right.
Yes.
Tama.
And aside from that, very popular ang kanyang tatay who was incumbent president at that time.
Yes.
So hindi natin maidina yung transference,
Yeah.
yung influence ng kanyang tatay na magdagdag doon sa kanyang popularity which she gained by her own right.
Tama.
So expected, mga kababayan, na mataas talaga ang boto ni Sara Duterte. That 32 million is true. As far as I'm concerned, etong kay Marcos, ang kalaban niya, incumbent vice president. May sariling power base. May nagawa din.
Si VP Lenny Robredo.
May
Yeah.
nagawa
Tama.
din. So naturally, expectedly, malaking chunk ng boto mapupunta sa kanya.
At saka tinalo si Marcos noon.
Yes.
Yes.
So, si Lenny will get more votes. So, si Marcos, opposite, bababa ang boto.
Yeah.
Because you can get only so much votes. So, bababa. Ang estimate ko, tulad ng sinabi ko, sa 6 na technical group personnel na yan, nandun kami sa headquarters namin, sa Cybergate, nag-estimate kami ng gabi na yon. Ang estimate ko, 24 million lang si Marcos. No one, tops. No one estimated beyond 26 million.
Because, sa pagtingin mo, ang variable factors, all considered, he cannot get beyond 25 million.
Yes.
These are experts' approximations.
Yes. So, nagpustahan pa kami. May blackboard pa kami. Glenn Chong, 24 million. Ivan Oy, I think he was 26 million. Then, all of a sudden, naging 31 million, close to 32 million.
Why is that important? Para i-manipulate ang result na yan.
The point here is this. Kailangan iangat yung boto ni Marcos Jr. para pumantay closely kay VP Sara Duterte. Because kung mababa ang boto ni Marcos Jr. at mataas na mataas ang boto ni VP Sara Duterte, naturally, you and me will look up to Sara Duterte as the true leader of this country.
Exactly.
So
And
kailangan
that cannot
iangat.
be. That cannot be for them. So
Yes.
that unity at the very start was a
sham.
phony. Yeah.
So, politically, ang logic dito, to gain a mandate that is not within the votes na kaya niyang abutin, minanipula.
Minanipula nila
Para dumikit doon.
Dumikit.
Kung
Kasi-
hindi man magkapareho, dikit man.
Ito pa, Kuya Eric,
Oh.
Tita Lorraine. Alam ni Lisa na weakling yung kanyang asawa. Walang mahina yung konstitusyon.
Lahat walang utak, walang puso, walang
Magaling lang sa
walang
prepared
balls.
at rehearsed speech.
Oo. So,
Sa speech.
alam niya, weakling
Empty.
si Marcos. Kung mababa ang boto ni Marcos at mataas si Sara Duterte, that's a surefire formula for disaster politically sa mga
gets your
mag-asawang
point.
Marcos.
So the wife is very cunning.
Yes. In-estimate na niya yan. In fact, siya rin ang nagmaniobra na kausapin yung mga Biden state officials, State Department officials.
Pupuntahan natin yung Atty. Glenn Chong. May tanong kami dyan tungkol sa'yo. How scandalous and morally questionable for the First Lady to be talking to Smartmatic, who is in charge of the electoral process and counting of votes, sa isang panahon na tayo'y nasa eleksyon, ito ba ay mali at dapat tingnan ng mamamayan na ito ay isang pagmamanipula papunta sa pag-angkin ng kapangyarihan kung kaya mo ito isinisiwala?
First of all, tingnan natin si Lisa Marcos is a lawyer.